U.S. gas prices have surged to the highest level since March of 2022, with the national average now $3.84 a gallon, marking a significant increase of about 94 cents over 1 month. They could go further as oil prices have jumped overnight after more oil fields and facilities were attacked in the Middle East. Home insurance prices are expected to rise this year for the 5th year in a row. Major weather damage and higher rebuilding costs could drive the average annual premium up by about 4% to over $3,000, according to Insurify. Premiums are up by nearly 50% since 2021. And the FTC issued warnings to 97 auto groups around the country, reminding them their advertised price must be the total price, including all fees that consumers will have to pay. The letters the FTC sent to the auto dealers offered several examples of illegal pricing practices. These include advertising a price that does not reflect the fees, or advertising a price that reflects rebates or discounts that aren't available to everyone, and advertising a price that fails to take into account the amount of an additional required down payment. Well, it could soon cost almost $1 to mail a letter. The Postal Service is looking to raise the cost of a first-class stamp to between 90 and 95 cents. The USPS has for years struggled with high costs and dwindling mail volume, resulting in a $9 billion loss in 2025. Downloads of the MyTSA app have spiked as travel chaos ensues at some airports. The only problem is the app isn't fully functional right now due to the government shutdown. Instead, travel experts recommend passengers seeking information about wait times and delays should visit the airport-specific sites. Well, thousands of users reported being unable to access X for a time yesterday. The platform down detector showed a spike of tens of thousands of user error reports beginning around 10:30 Eastern Time. X did not immediately respond to Reuters for a request to comment, and it was operating normally last night. Federal Trade Commission Chairman Andrew Ferguson has warned that the wedding planning site The Knot worldwide could be violating federal law as it faces allegations of defrauding small business owners. The New York Post reports the FTC is investigating the site for swindling mom-and-pop operators like DJs and photographers. Senator Chuck Grassley and his office has received nearly 200 separate complaints from wedding vendors around the country who had accused The Knot of providing fake or spam customer leads, locking them into ad deals that were difficult to cancel, or failed to provide the promised benefits. Micron Technology's revenue exceeded already high expectations in its fiscal second quarter, almost tripling year over year to nearly $24 billion as demand surges for memory used in AI chips. The company also projected over 200% revenue growth for the current quarter. Oil prices are climbing higher in after-hours trading after new attacks on critical energy infrastructure in the Middle East. Iranian strikes caused extensive damage to a major fuel hub in Qatar. Earlier, Israel struck a large Iranian gas field shared with Qatar. Vice President J.D. Vance and Energy Secretary Chris Wright will be meeting today with oil industry executives, and the White House is expected to announce more actions to address fuel prices. The Labor Department reported that its Producer Price Index, which measures inflation before it hits consumers, rose 0.7% in January and 3.4% from February. The increase was the most since February of 2025. The gains were driven partly by a sharp increase in food prices from January to February and were bigger than what economists had forecasted. The Trump administration is weighing another way to stop offshore wind farms. The New York Times reports senior administration officials are drafting settlement agreements that would pay nearly $1 billion to Total Energies, the French energy company behind 2 wind farms off New York State and North Carolina. And Kraft Heinz is debuting an amped-up boxed pasta, Kraft Mac and Cheese Power Mac. The new macaroni and cheese boasts 17 grams of protein, more than double the 8 grams in the standard Kraft macaroni and cheese. The upgraded mac and cheese also has 6 grams of fiber, with the current version having only 1 gram. One major benefit of taking GLP-1 medications is a sizable reduction in risk for heart attacks, strokes, and other heart problems. However, if people stop taking the medications, the heart benefits are erased. A large new study has found that heart risks begin to return as soon as 6 months after stopping the drug and may be almost completely eclipsed as soon as a year and a half after stopping. While the global market for so-called relaxation drinks is growing by 8% a year, strategic research says these drinks, which claim to help people calm down, reduce stress, improve sleep, and more, are formulated with botanicals, magnesium, and chamomile, among other things. Once a niche part of the drink market, the drinks are now competing with alcohol and energy drinks. And a new study finds cannabis may not help much in lessening anxiety and depression. The study, published in the Lancet Psychiatry Journal, suggests that medical marijuana, including CBD and THC, isn't effective for many mental health conditions. The researcher said some people may experience legitimate benefits, but when they look at evidence as a whole, they don't see that it is there for the routine use of these medicines. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.